Hey guys, I know this is kind of a weird ghetto way to do this, but I wanted to explain the notebooks a little bit better to you. We're just going to look at this document real quick, and I'm just going to explain each of the things that I'm going over. So this is going to be the right-hand side of the notebook here, and this is going to be the left-hand side of the notebook. So if we're looking at a notebook, so this is just a photocopy of my notebook. This is the left-hand side of the spiral notebook. This is the right-hand side of the spiral notebook. So when we're looking at this, on the left-hand side, I expect you to have key terms, which are going to be just terms from the lesson that we go over. Most of the time, we'll go over these together so that you guys understand what I want you to know from the lesson. But these key terms don't have to have definitions to them. They're just really going to be quick references so that if you flip to that page and look at the left-hand side, you can see exactly what's in your notebook. The next thing is going to be a summary of the lesson. So typically the summary we will also go over, but it's literally going to be another reference where we summarize exactly what we learned in that lesson. So just in case you miss something in the key terms and you literally can't find it in your notebook, you could actually refer to the summary of the lesson and see what we learned about that day. The last thing is going to be a depiction of the lesson so that we can try to actually learn the lesson and realize what we learned in the lesson and put that into a picture. So your biggest take out of the lesson in a stick figure or a printed picture or a drawing, however you want to do this, it's really up to you to be a little bit creative. I know some of you don't have a single creative bone in your body, but that's the people who can print out whatever they want from the internet. On the right-hand side, we are just going to have our notes. So this does not have to be exact word-for-word notes. We will definitely work on you guys being able to condense your notes and have really efficient notes this year. That's one of my goals for history for you guys. So on these notes, the only thing I'm requiring in these notes is it to be highlighted or for you to use color. Again, I love visual references to things. And if you're highlighting or using color, typically it's easier for your brain to bring that back up when you're in a situation like a test. So let's go ahead and look at a practical application of this. So you guys will not need an agenda. I know that there's an agenda on here. Normally my notebooks will have an agenda, but not for this online portion. So our vocabulary from last week is going to be right here. So we had before common era, nomadic, and domestication. I know I did put the definitions here, but you guys do not need to do that if you don't want to. I just did it because I actually enjoy just having the definitions for the vocabulary right there for me. Again, we have a depiction here. So this is my depiction. It's simply just stick figures. It's not drawn well, but it is there. And it will really actually help me remember this lesson. Like I could have told you exactly what this depiction I drew from last week was because I drew it and I had a lot of fun drawing it. So because I did that, I have this visual reference of, oh yeah, I learned that and I remember drawing this sweet stick figure diorama here. Lastly is the summary. So I just wrote, today we learned about what makes a village meet the classifications of a civilization. To me, if I saw that summary, I would say, okay, so in this lesson, I can find all the classifications of the civilization. And these are my notes. So you can see that I used orange as my color to outline. Obviously, your notes don't have to be this crazy. I love annotating my notes and any thoughts that I have, I put in the margin of the notes, but you don't have to be that crazy. That is just totally me. And I just enjoy having my own thoughts just wrapped up in my notes because that makes them very much my notes for me. And it makes it so that I can remember them easier. So these are just the left-hand notes. You can see I use color. And that is literally the whole concept of this notebook. So when I go to check these notebooks, I'm checking for a few things. I'm checking that you have notes. I'm checking for the key terms, the summary, and the depiction. And then I'm also checking for color. So color to me is, again, a big thing. So those are my expectations for notes, and I hope you guys got a little bit more out of this. If you do have any questions, just let me know, and I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have. But this is the most straightforward way that I could think of explaining the notes just a little bit better. Cool. I hope you guys have a great one, and I will talk to you soon.